بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والصلاة والسلام على رسول الكريم. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله تعالى وبركاته, and welcome to Takaful online course. And today discussions will be focusing on the relationship between the different parties and the business model. So briefly, if we look at the different parties in the Takaful structure, we'll see number one is the participant. So this is one party. Of course, the group of participants under one cluster or one group or under one component, and the other one is the Takaful operator, which is in the form of an entity, company, Takaful operator. And of course, we have other parties related, such as the regulators, who basically supervise the operations of the Takaful industry of the Takaful operator. And we have, of course, the Sharia committee, who will look at the Sharia compliance and related aspect related to the Sharia governance. And of course, we have the Re-Takaful as well, because Re-Takaful may be in the picture in case there is a need for the Takaful operator to cede or share part of the risk to the Re-Takaful. So we have the participant, then we have the Takaful operator, then we have the Re-Takaful, then on the other hand, we have the regulators supervise, and we have the Sharia committee that look at the compliance. Now, if you look furthermore at the components in the business model that we are going to touch upon, we'll see additional component. Of course, in addition to the participant, where they will bring the contributions. So we have the contributions, and these contributions could be in a form of participant special account, which is basically the risk fund, and the participant fund, which is the investment or the saving fund. Then we have the Takaful operator. Then we have the other component, which is the Re-Takaful. Then we have the claim component, because the money may flow as a result of the submitted claim, so the payout will go according to the risk average to the respective participant. Then we have the investments. Part of the money or the funds would be also in a form of investment. Then we have the wakala fee, part of the fee that will go to the Takaful operator. Then we have a kind of incentive investment that may emerge sometimes if the performance and the investment of the Takaful operator is good. So part of the investment in a form of ju'ala will be regarded as additional incentives fee to the Takaful operator. Then we have the surplus as a result of the performance and additional funds after basically the deductions of the fee and the of course the reserve and the claim. So whatever surplus that will go again according to the policy of the Takaful operator in the context of Malaysia. Of course, the surplus will be shared between the Takaful operator, and the surplus, some of the practices basically may go 100% to the Takaful or to the risk fund. We will discuss this one in this test in the respective course in the future. And we have the Qard Hasan that may flow in a case of deficit in the risk fund. So these are the main components that you may see in the structure of the business model of the Takaful operator, which are briefly again the participant special account, the participant account, the Takaful operator, the participant, the Re-Takaful, the claim, the investments, the wakala fee, the incentives of the investment fee, the surplus, and the Qard. Now, when it comes to the business model and the structure, of course, there are different business models, the cooperative models, the Mudaraba model, the Wakala model, the hybrid model, which basically combine Wakala and Mudaraba. We have the Waqf model, we have the Wadi'a model. There are different models. I propose some of them at the theory level, some of them partially practice. But the most popular one is basically the Wakala Mudaraba model, which is the hybrid that we'll be talking about briefly. So with regard to the relationship, we have, of course, the money will flow from the participant to the company. So this money will be in a form of contributions, in a form of donations, by the participant. We will talk later on when it comes to the Sharia determinations and interpretations. What's the appropriate legal Sharia terms that govern this kind of contributions, with some other discussions. But as of now, let's say that the money will flow to the funds based on the contributions or donation. Then we will have a wakala relationship between the participants and the Takaful operators, whereby the Takaful operators is acting and working as a result of the agency. There we will be appointed to manage the funds, to administer the application form, to collect the contributions, to administer the claim, to pay out the claim, to look after the reserve, to look after the investments, and so on and so forth. So basically has the mandate of the entire operations of the Takaful business fund within a kind of mutual interest, because of course the interest is the participants and the Takaful, or the agents himself, who is the Takaful operator. So this is basically based on kafala, and this is the tabarruk fund. Now the other second layer is basically these funds will be invested, and it will be invested based on mudaraba. This is why we say wakala mudaraba. So the first layer represent the wakala, which is the relationship between the what's called Takaful operator and the participants, that has an overall mandate to manage the entire business operation. But when it comes to the investment funds, it is also governed by the mudaraba, where the Takaful operator will be acting as a mudaraba for the interests of the capital provider, which is in this case the participants, and the money will be invested for the interest of the participant. Of course, there are some kind of profit sharing also that may take place over there. As you can see, the return or the income or the resources that represent the Takaful operator may come from the wakala fee in the first place, then will come from the investments on the mudaraba, then will come from the surplus, if there is a surplus, then it will come with in some incentives fee that could be generated as a result of the very good performance of the Takaful operators in the investment portfolio. Now, when it comes to the business model, there are a bit difference between the general business model and the family business model. And the reason being is that in the general Takaful model, so basically the entire fund will go to the risk fund, and basically it will be deployed in a what's called, of course, investments, and within the operation of the business of the Takaful operators, whereby they will be minus the fee, wakala fee, the reserve fee, and the claims. And if there is any surplus, it goes back to the participants and the Takaful operator. But when it comes to the Takaful fund based on a family, so we have the elements of the investment. This is why there is a split in the contributions, whereby part of the contributions will go to the risk fund, and the same goes to other normal, minus fee, wakala fee, minus what's called claims, and so forth, possible what's called a surplus from there. And the other one will go to the investment. This is why you will very often see that the Takaful operators, they offer what's called investment links, or when there is a family business model structures, or when there is a family product offering, you will see always the elements of the investments. So the investment is there, and if there is the investment there, definitely it is it is a family structure somehow, because part of the funds will go to the investments in order to invest the money and generate a profit, whereby the general Takaful, there is no elements of investment per se for the individual participant, but it is more to cover the entire risk. But if there is any kind of return, it will be mainly coming from the surplus as a result of the good performance of the administrations of the claims, and paying those claims, and of course providing a proper investments and fund management to ensure the sustainability and the healthiness of the fund. So this is basically in overall what's so called the business model. As you can see, it is a bit different and a bit not similar to the what's so called insurance business, even though, as we mentioned, that when it comes to the objective, it could be somehow common ground or common features, common objectives. When it comes to the main objective, as we mentioned, it goes to the protections, investments, and saving. If you look at the products in the family products in the general, you may see some kind of similarity. But when it comes to the underlying structures, the different types of relationship, the different types of contract that govern the relationship of the different parties with the, of course, responsibility, implications, and accountability, you see the difference between the business model of Takaful and the insurance. Again, we have to say there are different models in Takaful. And it's up to the regulators, it's up to the industry, it's up to the Takaful operator to select either one. It could be Mudaraba, it could be Wakala, it could be hybrid, it could be Waqf, it could be cooperative, it could be Wadia. So it's up to them. But sometimes the market will test those models and try to subscribe the most important, dynamic, appropriate, relevant, convenient what's so-called business model structure, which is as of today, the Wakala, Mudaraba, hybrid structures represent one of the dynamic and important and most popular structures within the industry. With that, thank you very much and see you inshallah in the coming sessions. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh.